Hey everyone, how's it going? So I've been telling you this video has been coming for months now, and well, here it is. I did a comparison of Arcanine stats compared to Ninetales in the Ninetales run, but for those that haven't seen it, Arcanine physically is the stronger Pokemon with a base HP stat of 90, 110 attack, 80 defense, and a very good 95 speed stat. And while in later generations it has the superior special attack, for Gen 1, its 80 special isn't bad, but isn't the greatest, and its 555 base stat total is very good. Unfortunately, Arcanine has the same problem as Ninetales, in which its move pool is very limited. While we do start with a 90 base power move and takedown, the drawback is that it deals recoil damage and it's only 85% accurate. Arcanine also won't get access to its most powerful move, Fire Blast, until late game, and another disadvantage for Arcanine is that it's in the slow level up group, so extra battles will affect the in-game time. With all that being said, Fire Pokemon are one of two types that I feel like struggle most in these solo runs, the other being ground types. With all that said, 555 base stat total, Arcanine is by far the strongest Pokemon in that retrospect that we've used on the channel. Let's see how it stacks up. So before taking on Brock, I actually battled all the bug trainers in Viridian Forest because we're going to need some levels with how Ninetales struggled against Brock. And just like with Ninetales, you'll see here that Ember isn't doing a lot of damage to Geodude, while Tackle is doing 7 HP. We do get some lucky burns, although I'd prefer some lucky crits along with Geodude to use Defense Curl more. But we're just not doing that much HP. Even though we are eventually going to get past the Geodude, and that's funny, Geodude crits. I don't know what the percentage is for it to crit, but we have 6 for Onix. And the worst part is that Onix outspeeds, so when it uses Bide like it does here, Ember's going to hit it, I switch to Leer, even though Bide knocks me out. So we're going to try that again. And we're going to come back at level 10 now. As you see, Ember's doing a lot more damage to Geodude. Tackle's doing 6 HP of damage now as opposed to the 7 that it did before. And we do get some lucky burns. We're still able to consistently get by the Geodude. But the big problem with Brock is Onix. Onix, for a rock Pokemon, is the fastest rock Pokemon in Gen 1. And it's still outspeeding me. Even though Brock uses a full heal, after I burn it, I get a lucky miss with Bide, so that's nice, but I essentially have to predict when I think it's going to use Bide, so that I don't get hit with Bide. And I switched to Takedown just because I have all the Leers set up. It's not doing that much, but maybe it is. Onix just did a lot there with Bide. So it looks like this battle's going to be another reset, and it is right there. So now we come back at level 12. There was a battle I did at level 11, but it was another loss, so there was no point in showing it. And Ember's doing a lot more now to Geodude. And there's a big difference now that we're level 12 as opposed to level 11, which I'll explain momentarily. Aside from that, we're able to knock out Geodude a lot quicker and have 32 HP, but we now outspeed Onix. So we can get a shot in with Ember, and when it goes for Bide like it just did, we can switch to Leer, and we won't get hit with Bide, so we're able to safely hit Onix now. Of course, we have Roar for if we were to ever run out of Leer PP somehow. But at this point, it's now just waiting for Onix's Bide to pass, retaliating with Ember, we get a lucky burn there, and we're able to win. And I haven't done this in a while, but while in Mount Moon, I take the superior fossil, the Dome Fossil, because we all know that the Dome Fossil is superior to the Helix Fossil. Post it in the comments. All hail the Dome. Anyways, enough of the fossil bit. We exit around an hour and 8 minutes, not the greatest time. It's definitely been a bit of a struggle for the legendary Doggo, as its Pokedex entry says. But we do have some trainers coming up. and a rival battle, which I'm going to opt to do first instead of Misty. The extra levels from the rival battle, along with Nugget Bridge, will just make Misty easier, and we'll have access to Dig after we go through Nugget Bridge and help Bill with his Pokemon transformation fiasco. But that's enough rambling from me. Let's go ahead, save our game, and get into this rival battle that usually is a pretty easy one for Pokemon. Pidgeotto's going to be the lead. I start with Ember just to see how much it's doing, which is alright, maybe about a 5-hit KO. It does hit me with a Sand Attack, which is annoying, but I managed to hit Takedown, so that's nice. Abra, of course, can't attack us, so I'm going to use an Ember, and I just want this thing out of the way, so Takedown to take it out. Rattata, Ember, and that does a lot of damage. That's surprising, actually. We're able to take it out. Squirtle, I'm worried about Water Gun, but Takedown does a lot of damage, and it just goes for Tackle, and that Sand Attack from Pidgeotto didn't even matter. So now that we have Dig in our arsenal and some extra levels, let's try Misty. Which, if we can get some good critical hit luck, I think we should be good. Staryu, of course, is the lead. We should outspeed, we do. And Dig, Moment of Truth, one-shots, okay. Now let's see how Dig does against Starmie. Oh, Starmie outspeeds Bubble Beam, that's big damage, and X-Defend, that's not good. Okay, so Dig might have done half without that, and we get knocked out. So let's come back to this one. We're going to skip ahead to the SSN instead, and battle the one optional trainer that's blocking everybody's favorite TM, TM08 Body Slam, which will give Arcanine a powerful physical move that can also paralyze, and doesn't deal recoil damage like a Takedown or Double Edge does. And with Body Slam on our arsenal now, Rival 3, I believe, should be a pushover, and I think it's going to make Misty a lot easier. As you'll see here, with the Pidgeotto, we outspeed it, and Body Slam doesn't quite one-shot it. Sand Attack is annoying, but we're able to take it out the next turn. Raticate, Body Slam, we miss, but unless Raticate uses Hyper Fang, there's really nothing it can do. Body Slam takes it out. Kadabra, I know Body Slam will be a one-shot. And Wartortle, it has good defense, but we miss, and okay, Water Gun did decent damage there, so does Bubble. It could all add up, but we're able to knock it out with just 2 Body Slams. So now with the rival out of the way, let's try Misty again. Staryu, I anticipate, should be a one-shot with Body Slam, and it is. Starmie, let's see, Body Slam does half, okay. X-Defend, that's alright, and it barely hangs on, but we paralyze it, and yeah, Misty's pretty easy now with some extra levels in Body Slam. I'm going to skip Surge for now and go ahead and go through Rock Tunnel and show off the battle with the self-destructing Hiker. And Geodude number 1 actually blows up while we're underground, and Dig is able to one-shot Geodude number 2. And against the Graveler, I anticipate it should be able to withstand a Dig, and oh, no, we knock it out. Awesome. So, exiting Rock Tunnel, 2 hours 11 minutes. Not the best time, but Arcanine can make up some ground, especially because we're just so powerful now. Like, we have some trainers we can level up against, like Rival 4 here, who really isn't a challenge. And we also have Erica next, who we have a type advantage against, but we'll wait to talk about Erica. We take out the Pidgeotto with 2 Body Slams. Dig will one-shot the Growlithe, and does. Execute, I remember Ember was one-shotting it in the Ninetales run, and it does here as well, so that's pretty cool. Kadabra, one-shot with the Body Slam. And Wartortle, we only have 1 Body Slam left, and it critical hits. Okay, so Rival 4 defeated. And let's take on Erica next, which I don't make the same mistake with Ninetales going into the battle poisoned. Not going to do that again, definitely learned my lesson there. So I anticipate that Dig will probably be the better option against Victory Bell because we have a higher attack and Victory Bell has decent special, It's not able to one-shot. Victory Bell uses Wrap, but thankfully it's only a 3-turn Wrap. Body Slam is able to knock it out. I wonder how much Body Slam would have did from the get-go. Body Slam doesn't quite one-shot Tangela, it misses Bind, but Tangela can't really do much to us. Vileplume is next, and let's see how much Dig can do. It does half. We get poisoned, but it's not like with Ninetales where we went into the battle poisoned, and yeah, Erica was very easy. And while in Celadon, let's just wrap up business. Let's take on Giovanni at the Rocket Game Corner. And there's really not much to say about this battle. Dig one-shots the Onix. The Rhyhorn is next, and Dig will one-shot this as well. And for Kangaskhan, I switched to Body Slam, which looks like about a 3-hit KO, and it will be a 3-hit KO, and yeah, Giovanni as always, not a challenge. So we have a couple options as to where we can go. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the Pokemon Tower and then backtrack to Surge, because we don't want to leave him hanging. Anyways, I go for Dig on the Voltorb. I should have just went for Body Slam. Body Slam would have one-shot it. And same with the Pikachu, Body Slam would have one-shot it. The only Pokemon I'm unsure if Body Slam would have one-shot is the Raichu, which Dig does one-shot. So, Surge out of the way, and we can take on the Ninja Master himself, Koga next, which, with a ground move like Dig on our arsenal, should be no problem, especially if the Weezing blows up while we're underground. Anyway, coughing number 1, Dig, I anticipate will be a one-shot. It is, okay. Muck is a bit bulkier. I anticipate that Dig will be a 2-shot, and yep, it's going to be a 2-shot, but we switch to Body Slam unless we miss, and our second Body Slam takes it out. Just like coughing number 1, coughing number 2 will be a 1-shot, and finally we have made it to the Weezing. Will it blow up while we're underground? No. Dig, that does over half. It hits us with Toxic, which no big deal, and there's a next attack, and we KO it. So, 5 badges down. And let's go ahead and do the Silph Co and take on Rival Fizzle. You'll see we saved at 3 hours 14 minutes, and we still have a ways to go, but have made up some ground. So, Arcanine's doing some good work. Anyways, to the battle, Body Slam gets a critical hit for the second one, so it's able to 2-shot the Pidgeot. Growlithe will be a 1-shot with Dig. There we go, it is. Execute, I don't believe will be a 1-shot with Ember this time. It isn't. It hits me with Leech Seed. I guess best case scenario. Alakazam is next. Do we outspeed? We do. Body Slam can't take it out though. And there's Psybeam. It doesn't crit, so I'm thankful for that. Blastoise is last, Body Slam, and Bubble. Okay, that's doing 20 HP, and with this Leech Seed healing it, it looks like it's going to be a 3-hit KO. Body Slam, we paralyze it, and it's fully paralyzed, so we're able to win. That was a close one. But a battle that isn't close is this battle with Giovanni. Per usual, Dig will make quick work of his Pokemon. Dig is a 1-shot on the Nidorino. Kangaskhan, we're actually going to switch to Body Slam, and that looks like it's doing about half. But we're out of Body Slam, so I switch to Ember, and it's able to take it out in 2 Embers. Rhyhorn should be a 1-shot with Dig. It is. His strongest Pokemon, Nidoqueen, I don't think Dig will 1-shot it. And it doesn't, it barely hangs on, but we're able to take it out with an Ember. So with the game opened up, and having our choice between Blaine and Sabrina, I'm actually going to opt for Blaine, because his badge will boost our special and give us access to Fire Blast, our most powerful attack. Anyways, Blaine for some reason does a first turn Super Potion when Growlithe is at full health. Dig knocks it out and the Ponyta in 1 hit. Rapidash, I don't think is going to be a 1-hit, but it actually is, okay. And Mirror Match, Arcanine versus Arcanine. Dig, and that does 3/4. Takedown, okay, that did decent damage, but Body Slam is able to take it out. And with Blaine defeated, we can finally delete the 40 base power Ember. And we can teach it the 120 base power Fire Blast. Even though it's only 70% accurate, it's going to be a lot more useful than Ember. And now that we have Blaine's badge, let's backtrack to Sabrina, where all of her Pokemon are frail defensively. We should outspeed them all. Let's get our 7th gym badge. So we know that Sabrina's going to lead with Kadabra, and we should outspeed it, and Body Slam should be a one-shot. It is. Awesome. Mr. Mime, Body Slam, one-shot. There really isn't much to say about this battle. We know that Fire Blast will one-shot the Venomoth, which I still think it's strange she has a Venomoth in red and blue. Alakazam actually outspeeds, confuses us with Psybeam, and we hit ourselves. It goes for a recover, that's strange, but Body Slam almost knocks it out. We're able to snap out of the confusion and take it down. And with all gym badges in hand except for Giovanni's, there's only one thing left to do. And at 3 hours 47 minutes in front of him, Arcanine's really made up ground. And this battle, it's like all other Giovanni battles. There really isn't much to say. You'll see that Dig almost takes out the Rhyhorn. Body Slam will take out the Dugtrio. Almost, actually. We paralyze it, but we're able to use Dig to avoid its Dig. Nidoqueen will probably withstand a Dig, and it does. Alright. Well, we can just take it out with Body Slam the next turn. Nidoking, since Nidoqueen withstood a Dig, it should also withstand one. It does. I know Nidoqueen, I believe, is the more defensive of the two. And Rhydon is last. I actually switched to Fire Blast because I'm curious how much damage it'll do. And does about a third. We burn Rhydon, who just keeps spamming Fissure, which one-hit KO moves can't hit you if you're faster, and yeah, that's 8 gym badges down. Before we can take on the league, though, we have Rival 6. 3 hours 51 minutes, Arcanine has really made up ground. We're not going to touch Magneton's time, but we can definitely beat Ninetales' time. Anyways, Pidgeot is the lead, as we all know. Body Slam does about 2/3. Wing Attack, that's not doing much. We can knock it out. Rhyhorn, I believe, will withstand a Dig. Giovanni's did. And yep, just as anticipated, but we can knock it out with Body Slam. Growlithe, as usual, should be a one-shot with Dig. It is. We now have a more powerful attack in Fire Blast for Execute, and that's also a one-shot. Alakazam, though, I don't know if we'll outspeed it. We don't. There's a Psybeam that does big damage thanks to a crit. Body Slam's not able to take it out, and Psychic, we're done. Let's try that again. This time I'm at level 50 and now have Mimic on my arsenal. Body Slam last time crit Pidgeot. This time it's doing about a third without the crit. I switched to Fire Blast but miss. Pidgeot's just spamming Agility, and Fire Blast knocks it out. And we all know what's going to happen with the Rhyhorn. It's going to withstand a Dig, unless with these extra levels, oh, we knock it out. Growlithe, I'm actually going to mimic Agility, so that we can Badge Boost. And we should be able to outspeed the Alakazam, especially now with this. I mean, we're increasing our speed 6-fold. But Growlithe, as usual, Dig, one-shot. Execute as long as we don't miss, which we don't. It's also a one-shot. And Alakazam, we're going to outspeed it now. I misclicked Dig. I meant to go for Body Slam. That Reflect definitely helped. It gets another massive crit with Psybeam, but we can knock it out next turn. Blastoise is last, and I should have went for Fire Blast if I learned anything from the Ninetales run, and a Hydro Pump knocks me out. Emphasizing not learning from the Ninetales run, we come back at level 54. And Body Slam still is not able to one-shot Pidgeot. Thankfully, it just goes for Agility and Whirlwind. We have full HP. Rhyhorn, now with our extra levels, we were able to one-shot it at level 50, so level 54 should be no different. Growlithe once again, we want to mimic Agility for the Badge Boost glitch, and we're going to set up on it because, well, I mean, Growlithe can't do anything to us. So once we get our 3 Agilities up, and Growlithe even helps us out with 2 Leers there to further Badge Boost us, which the remaining Pokemon aren't physical attackers, so thank you for the Leers. We've made it back to the Alakazam, who we should one-shot with Body Slam. I misclicked Fire Blast, and wow, that almost took it out. You see how little Psybeam did. Blastoise is last. I learned this time, and remember, Fire Blast is over half. We're able to tank a Hydro Pump, and Fire Blast KOs it. So we're on to the league, and 4 hours, 16 minutes in front of Lorelei's chamber. That's not too bad. We definitely have room to beat Ninetales' run. Let's get to the league. So we know that she's going to lead with Dugong, and it's a good thing it has no water moves. Fire Blast is over half, Takedown doesn't do too much, we're able to knock it out with Body Slam. Cloyster has worse special, so Fire Blast should, and does one-shot it. Crit might have mattered. Against Slowbro, we're going to mimic Amnesia and boost our special all the way. Slowbro is just going to use Withdraw and Amnesia, and occasionally we get a Water Gun like we do there. But with our boosted special, Body Slam actually did a lot there thanks to the crit, and I honestly should have just went for Fire Blast right away like I do here, because our special is so bloated. Jinx will be a one-shot with our bloated special, although Fire Blast would one-shot it normally. And Lapras hits us with a Hydro Pump, doesn't do a lot. Fire Blast, one-shot. So, Lorelei, very consistent. I never lost to her. Pretty easy. And Bruno, as well, just like in any run, is also very easy. And we have to show the battle because he's a member of the Elite Four, but there really isn't much to talk about. We have a ground move that can take care of the 2 Onix in Dig. Dig doesn't one-shot it, probably from the X-Defend that was used, but it goes for Rage, and we all know Rage is probably the worst move in the game. Against Hitmonchan, as long as we don't use Body Slam, we're good, and I opt to mimic Ice Punch, actually, so I can for sure KO the second Onix in one hit, and Ice Punch actually did decent damage to Hitmonchan there. Hitmonlee surprisingly hangs on from a Body Slam, but 2 Body Slams knock it out. Ice Punch knocks out the Onix, and Machamp, the strongest Pokemon, who will probably just spam Fissure. Actually, it uses Focus Energy. That's funny, but Submission actually did decent damage there, and Bruno, as always, is a cakewalk. But Agatha for most Pokemon is a problem. Especially Pokemon that are these either high physical attackers or, you know, don't have the best special. But for Arcanine, thanks to having a ground move, Agatha's simple. Dig will one-shot Gengar number 1, as it does here. Golbat, we have Body Slam for it, which she switches to Haunter, which we can then switch to Dig and also one-shot it. Golbat comes back out, Body Slam finishes it. Arbok comes out, and Dig should be a one-shot. Arbok has similar stats to Golbat, but they're still not great. And the last Gengar, Dig, is a one-shot. So we've made it to Lance, who is the problem child of the Elite Four, because he has a Gyarados that knows Hydro Pump and will use it often, and the AI never seems to miss with it. So how will this battle go? And I also have to think, do I want to mimic Agility for Badge Boost from the Dragonairs, or Hydro Pump for the Aerodactyl? Well, in this battle, we're going to use Body Slam. We outspeed, it hits Hydro Pump, and yeah, it does over 3/4 of my health. Thankfully, we're able to paralyze it and knock it out. Dragonair number 1 comes out, and Body Slam does half. It misses Slam, thankfully. So 2 Pokemon down. Dragonair number 2, it hits us with a Dragon Rage, and we have 16 HP for the final 2 Pokemon. So Aerodactyl Fire Blast, but it outspeeds us. We hit, critical hit, Hyper Beam misses, but we hit ourselves and knock ourselves out. And you'll remember from the Ninetales run, I told you to remember a specific stat. Do you remember it? It was that Ninetales was 2-1 against Lance, and as you see in the background here, it's a bunch of sped up losses to Lance, and I kid you not, I lost 16 times in a row, and I stopped counting after 25 total losses to Lance. He made me look like my hometown 08 Detroit Lions and the 2017 Cleveland Browns, the only winless teams in the 16 games a season era, not including the 76 Buccaneers, but it was bad. Lance was a huge wall. And I almost wanted to save between members because it was so frustrating. And every battle was really the same. I'd either lose on Gyarados, lose on one of the Dragonairs, or lose on Aerodactyl. I never once made it to Dragonite. And I think this battle single-handedly shows how much Fire Pokemon and Ground Pokemon struggle in these solo runs. Can I finally get some luck against Lance? Well, let's see. Body Slam is able to crit, and Gyarados missed Hydro Pump, so we get past it with full HP. Against the first Dragonair, I'm going to mimic Agility, because I need some badge boost. I tank a Hyper Beam pretty well there, and I'm able to set up 2 badge boosts thanks to the recharge. I'll set up one more and another Hyper Beam. Okay, we tank that well. Body Slam, one-shots now. Okay. And Dragonair number 2 should also be a one-shot. It is. Let's go. Aerodactyl, let's see how Fire Blast does. We miss, but Takedown doesn't do too much. Aerodactyl has a high chance to crit, and let's go. We burn it and do big damage. And we knock it out the next turn. Dragonite is last, though, and it has the highest base attack in the game, but we're able to paralyze it, and it's just spamming Barrier and Agility. And just like that, after getting blanked 16 times in a row, we are finally able to defeat Lance. Holy moly. You guys have no idea how tempting it was to save after this. Just from all the bullshit of the Lance battles. But we have the champion next, and we're gonna need to mimic Hypnosis from Exeggutor. And we're gonna have to put Blastoise to sleep. Can we get a victory on our first try? For my sanity's sake, I hope we do, because I'm ready to be done with the league. Against Pidgeot, I'm gonna use Fire Blast. It does big damage and burns it, which will weaken the Retaliation Wing attack, and we're able to knock it out with a Body Slam next turn. Now, Alakazam, can we one-shot it with Body Slam? We can't. Here's Psybeam, just don't confuse us, and no crit. Okay, that's nice. And one thing I forgot to mention also is, during all the losses to Lance, I actually did level up. Should have mentioned that sooner, but Dig doesn't one-shot the Rhydon. It's just going to use Horn Drill. I would prefer something like Leer or Tail Whip to badge boost us. Another mirror match, Arcanine versus Arcanine. Dig. It holds on. It goes for Roar. That's funny. We're able to knock it out. Alright, Exeggutor. We need to mimic Hypnosis. And just don't hit us. It does with Hypnosis. I'm asleep. There's a Stomp. I'm asleep. And a Barrage. Thankfully, this Barrage doesn't last very long. 3 turns. I'm asleep. Stomp. Okay. Asleep. Stomp again. A crit Stomp. And asleep again. And we're done. So that was asleep for 5 turns. Are you kidding me? Many attempts later, and we make it back to the champion. I'm not going to bother showing any more Lance losses. Once again, against the Pidgeot, I'm going to use Fire Blast, and once again, we burn it. But it Mirror Moves Fire Blast, that's funny. And we're able to knock it out next turn with Body Slam. Alakazam, we need to one-shot it, We don't, but we paralyze it, so that's nice. Fully paralyzed is even nicer. Alright, Rhydon, we know it's going to take 2 digs. Just hit me with some Leers or Tail Whips, please. Badge boost me. Okay, there's one. Nice. Even though that'll help out Exeggutor, maybe we should just go for Fire Blast right away? I don't know. Let's see if the badge boost helps against Arcanine. It does. Okay. We've made it back to Exeggutor, and let's just go Hail Mary Fire Blast. It hangs on barely and puts us to sleep. Are you kidding me? I'm asleep. There's a Stomp. Okay, I'm asleep. And a full restore. Wow, okay, I'm asleep. Another Stomp. I'm asleep. Come on, game, don't do this to me again. And here's another Barrage. Thankfully, just a 3-turn. I'm asleep. Stomp. Okay, I'm asleep. And Stomp knocks me out again. So, 6 turns asleep. Try number 3. Many attempts later. Can we finally do it? Or will this be loss number 3? Well, it doesn't start well with us missing our opening Fire Blast. Thankfully, we hit the second, but Pidgeot just mirror moves it, which, no big deal. We can knock it out with a Body Slam. Alright, Alakazam, we know that Body Slam's not going to one-hit KO it. Full Restore, that's fine. Body Slam again, I just don't want Psychic. I'll take Reflect, and misplay on my part here, I go for Dig. I should have just used Body Slam, but it actually kind of works out. It uses Psychic, and gets a special drop. I don't want to see that, but I get an idea here. Let's mimic Recover, because we're going to need some health for the final 4 Pokemon. Psybeam does some good damage there. We finally knock it out. And against the Rhydon next here, I'm going to use Recover because we need as much health as we can get for what's coming. Exeggutor's been trolly, and Blastoise has Hydro Pump. Thankfully, Rhydon badge boosts us a little bit with a Leer. Definitely need that after the special drop. Mirror match, Arcanine versus Arcanine. Dig is a one-shot. Let's go. Alright, Exeggutor. I'm just going to go for Body Slam. That does about a third. Stomp doesn't hit too hard. Fire Blast, Hail Mary. It KOs it. Alright, we've made it to Blastoise for the first time. Body Slam, no Paralyze, but it goes for Withdraw. I'm going to use Recover because Hydro Pump could probably knock us out. It goes for Withdraw again. Fire Blast, that's doing okay damage. Another Withdraw. Well, its defense is boosted a lot, so Fire Blast is the best play. Here's the Hydro Pump. And we hang on with 29 HP. Fire Blast is able to knock it out. And finally, Arcanine. You've done it, Legendary Doggo. You've beaten the league. And boy, was this run awful. I wouldn't say Golbat awful, but never have I struggled against one trainer like Lance so much. Like, as I mentioned, not even Ninetales struggled that much. And it makes me wonder, how will Pokemon like Charizard or Rapidash or Magmar or even Moltres do? Well, Arcanine clocks in level 63 with the final time of 5 hours 14 minutes. 4 minutes faster than Ninetales, 6 levels lower, based off its level and in-game time. For now, I had it sandwiched between Dodrio and Ninetales, but I feel like it needs to go in a newer tier below them, or perhaps in the same tier as Golbat because of how much it struggled. Anyways, we've got another fire Pokemon coming in the next video. Let me know in the comments who you think it is. And, as always, thank you so much for the continued support, and I'll catch you in the next one.